I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about, oh my God, I thought they moved on, but they're back. This happens all the time. When you're in a situation where somebody that you really care about, that you love, is distant, maybe it's a breakup, maybe you guys are struggling in your relationship, it feels like they're never going to come back. And one of the big reasons for that is people often get cold, right? They're warm, you feel that connection with them, you've got this trust with them, and then all of a sudden they act like a different person. Like they never cared about you, they're cold in their responses, they're short, they don't want to have any communication, and you really think it's completely done. And this is why I tell you guys all the time, just focus on the growth. Make it a habit to do the Creative Healing course and the workbooks 30 minutes a day. Because at the end of a few months, you're going to feel a lot different. You're going to be a lot more enlightened. You're going to be a lot more centered. You're going to understand relationships better. Regardless of what's happening with another person, you're putting yourself in the position to be successful in your life. And you are taking care of your own relationship with yourself when you're focusing on the growth and your own mental health. I don't think there's anything more important than your own mental health. So always make it a priority. And that way, regardless of what happens with your ex, you're gonna be in a position that you feel good, that you're more successful, and that you're attracting great people into your life. So many times, you're in a situation where months are going by, you think they're completely done with you. I know it. You're absolutely convinced they're not thinking about you. They're never going to talk to you again. You're never going to hear from them again, and that it's done. But I can tell you, I have been doing this for a very long time, and I see success stories all the time. And I love when we get a success story like I have in today's video. And you want to know why? Because you're going to hear many of the things that I tell you happen play out. Because a lot of times when exes come back, they do tell you all this information that you've been wanting to hear. In other words, they do say things like, I thought about you all the time. I drove past your work. I was always looking at your social media. I created a fake account. Believe it or not, when your ex is coming back, they often will be vulnerable and open up about all those things. So this is a great email coaching from somebody that thought their ex was completely done, and you're going to see why. So you're going to really like this one. Stick around to the end. They said, hi, Coach Craig. About a year ago, I had an email coaching with you on my long distance breakup. We broke up for the second time in July of 2022. Okay, this is their second breakup now. Okay? So many of you that don't think you're going to have another chance, let's see what happens. They've already had, this is now their second breakup. At the time, I thought my ex-boyfriend was completely done with me. He was frustrated with some of the things going on in the relationship and did not want to continue it, especially being so far away from each other. Well, since that email, I took your advice of leaving him alone and letting him reach out if he wants. I moved to a new city with my college roommate post-graduation. I got a new job and have since gotten certifications and experience in my position. I even adopted my first dog. And I can tell you, Margaret would be thrilled about the dog part. She loved dogs. She had many dogs that she would adopt and rescue over the years, and she really believed that pets were very helpful and soothing, especially after a breakup. And I can't tell you how many times she would tell people, get a dog. If you can't get a dog, get a stuffed animal. It's very soothing and people find it very helpful. And I can't even believe it. You wouldn't believe the timing of this. I just went to take a drink, and as I looked to take the drink, and I had just mentioned Margaret, look what's on the floor. A paperclip. What are the odds of that one? So maybe she's watching. So let's continue with the success story because this is a good one. I made it a priority to not stalk any of his social media, although I will admit it happened 2 to 3 times in the past months. All right, not too bad. She did pretty good. I created friendships with my coworkers and even began dating a bit. I definitely felt like I moved on. And what do I tell you guys all the time? When you heal, when you're focusing on the personal growth and you kind of just focus on that and let go, that's often when they come back. I don't know why it works like that, but it seems to be the way that it often works. So that's why I say you have to kind of let go before they come back. Now, of course, that's not the case in every situation, but I see it a lot. Then, in April of this year, so 9 months after the breakup, he requested to follow me on Instagram randomly. Well, it looked random to you, but he had been thinking about it for a while, I can promise you that. I accepted and requested him back and left it at that. Okay? So look at that. He requested, she requested back, she accepted it, but she didn't message him. She didn't break the no contact. I still did not reach out and acted very neutral about the following. Then, just 2 weeks ago in June, he texted me asking if we could have a phone call. Long story short, he said, are you guys ready for this? This is what I tell you all the time. Long story short, he said he had been thinking about me every day since he ended things in July, and that he was sorry for what he did. Listen to that. He said he had been thinking about me every day since he ended things in July. Now, it's been almost a year, right? But she did what I tell you guys to do. She focused on the personal growth. She was in a place where she had let go. And look, he comes back again. And now he's sorry for what he did. Good, he should be sorry. He was going to be flying out to my state with his parents for vacation and asked if we could meet up for dinner. It was so crazy that even after 2 breakups with each other, he still thought about me and questioned his decision. I couldn't believe that he had reached out. So for many of you that are thinking the same thing, it won't be my ex, she thought that too. But she did what she needed to do. She focused on herself, growing, healing, kind of moving forward, but also preparing if he comes back, and he finally does. I thought his ego and stubbornness was too high for him to even consider sending me a text. You see this? I couldn't believe that he reached out. I thought his ego and stubbornness was too high for him to even consider sending me a text. But even the stubborn and avoidant ones miss you. Guys, I'm telling you, I know it feels hopeless in many situations, but you gotta stop obsessing about when they're gonna come back. For some reason, that's not when they come back. It's when you're focusing and obsessing on the personal growth, healing, growing, changing, bettering yourself, and kind of letting go, and that's when they come back. But so many of the comments that I read, it's clear that you guys haven't let go, and that's part of the equation. is the letting go too. I know it's not easy, but I'm trying to set you up for success. I wanted to thank you for the advice and all your YouTube videos. They're so helpful and bring so much light to a breakup. I hope that if you share this success story with someone, it helps them out and makes them feel less alone. And proves the point of no contact. 3 exclamation points and in bold. Sometimes exes come back for a second time. Technically, this would be a third, right? Because they already had 2 breakups. Of course, I will take things slowly, no matter what happens, and I have built a life where if he is not in it, I will be okay. Thank you again, Emily. And this is what I hope for each and every one of you. To get to a point where you're okay, that you're doing well in your life, that you're thriving, that you're successful, that your mental health is improved and better than it ever was, that you have the skills to be the best partner that you could ever be or the best version of yourself, and that even if they don't come back, you're okay. Sometimes you can get stuck for long periods of time, but I'm telling you, if you do the work, if you make the knowledge or the creative healing course a habit, 30 minutes a day, you will get unstuck. I had a guy today that we did a call about 3.5 months ago. He was still stuck. It was clear to me he hadn't done any work. It was like he was still at the point of the breakup. And some of the basic questions he should have been thinking about if she came back that he was going to have to address in the relationship, he hadn't even answered within himself. And I said to him, okay, well, what happens if she comes back and she says that the issue that you had had previously is still going to come up in the relationship again? I don't want to get into the specifics of what that question was, but basically, it was something that he had to resolve within himself, and that issue was not going to go away. And that when she brought it up to him again, how would he handle it? And he didn't even have any kind of answer. And I'm like, this is a question you should have thought about months ago. And I said, I can tell you're not doing the workbooks. I can tell you're not doing the course. And he admitted it. He knew that. He admitted he had not been doing the work. He felt stuck. He hadn't improved. He hadn't grown. And it was keeping him really... And I told him this, like a lost child who had lost his mom, and he just was waiting all these months for her to come back. But after the call, he got the creative healing course. And hopefully he will make that a priority and doing it 30 minutes a day, because it's really meant to help change your life and grow. So I know that everybody feels hopeless, and they're the ones that feel like their ex won't ever come back. And many of you guys think that your ex is a narcissist, and I hate to say it, but has definitely gone overboard with diagnosing narcissism. Narcissism is not prevalent. It's like 10% of the population, if not less. Now, avoidance can exhibit a lot of those kind of qualities, but it doesn't mean they're a full-blown narcissist. So don't get it confused. And be very careful out there getting a diagnosis from coaches that have no education, no qualifications to be diagnosing narcissism or any other personality disorder, because I am constantly hearing on my calls from certain coaches, who I will not name names, saying just about every call that their ex was a borderline or a narcissist. And when I'm listening to their situation, I'm not getting that at all. And neither is Coach Victoria. And when Coach Margaret was around too. So please understand, every situation is different, and every breakup is different. And some of you are in situations where your ex was extremely toxic, but many of you were in relatively healthy relationships where if you make some effort, you can repair things. And yes, it feels like they won't ever come back. And I know, because I've lived that. I've done this for years, and I lived it. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. And that's why I'm so confident in what we teach working. Because, like I said, if you're obsessing about growth, healing, and your mental health, You can't lose. And you are the only person you can really control in this breakup. So stop trying to control your ex, because it only pushes them away further. Focus on yourself, and you could be in a situation like this. But here's the thing. She was happy regardless of what happened with her ex. And she's gonna be happy regardless what happens with her ex. And to me, that is the ultimate kind of success story. So, hopefully you enjoyed this one. Of course, if you want to get my help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. And also you can find the knowledge workbooks and the creative healing course there. You'll absolutely love those. But that's it for this video. I am Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.